afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the August 7th meeting of the Rotary Club. 14th?
Yep, 14.
Read the script. I looked down and I was like, I thought it was 11. It is the 14th. The month is going quick. It's good to be all here with you today. Thank you to Amy for hosting us in this wonderful space. The Goodwill Opportunity Center is amazing. It does give us lots of opportunity, and it's really wonderful. It's really been a special week. I just came from the ribbon cutting at the New West End School for Girls. Amazing place. The school for boys has been there 20 years, and it's right next to it on Virginia Avenue. Beautiful space. It's going to impact a lot of lives. It's going to be absolutely terrific. It's really been a special week all along. Ford planning to invest $5 billion between Louisville and Michigan, EV production. Apple and Corning, $2.5 billion in Kentucky. So that's going to be their plant in Mercer County, Harrisburg. It's about 30 miles southwest of Lexington. They're going to make all the cover glass used on iPhones and Apple Watches right here in Kentucky. We had a good Rotary Fund Board meeting this week, approving more than 24 projects, which are really amazing. Participatory and gifting. A quick update on one, Imagination Library Louisville, 769 new children signed up in July, so it's next month the total of children served the past 9 years will surpass 30,000. And the total number of gifted books in that time over 500,000.
Wow.
9,500 children have graduated from the program in the past 9 years. It's a book from 1 month to 5 years. So it's a great thing that we do. All the projects that we approved this week is great. And one more, all Rotarians are invited to join us for the dedication of the Good Neighbor Bill that we all helped build. That's one of the projects, the Habitat House, Jessica Boyd's new house. So tomorrow, if you're available, it's at 2 o'clock, and that's 4526 Broadleaf. 4526 Broadleaf. A lot of you helped build it. All of us are welcome to come and see it tomorrow. All right. Four-way test. No? Invocation first. That's more important. Linda. Jacko Crutcher, the CEO of Catholic Charities.
I gotta bring this down a notch. Okay, I'm coming today from our Catholic faith tradition, and so in the Catholic calendar today, August the 14th, is the feast of St. Maximilian Kolbe. He's a bit of a new addition to the roster of saints. He's a 20th century saint. I thought I'd tell you all a little bit about him today. St. Maximilian Kolbe was a Catholic priest and a conventual Franciscan friar who lived and worked in Poland during World War II. When Nazi Germany occupied Poland, he chose to continue his work, creating religious and anti-Nazi publications at the monastery near Warsaw, where he both founded and managed. He did anything he could to combat the Nazi regime and to help the people being persecuted. He organized a temporary hospital within the monastery, and he hid 3,000 Polish and Jewish refugees there. He was arrested in 1941 and sent to Auschwitz, where he led prayers, sang hymns, and comforted the other prisoners. During the nights in the concentration camp, he would go bunk to bunk saying, "I am a Catholic priest. Can I do anything for you?" In August of 1941, one prisoner escaped from Auschwitz, and Nazi guards selected 10 people to be starved to death as a punishment. Kolbe volunteered to change places with a stranger, a man who wept for his family when he had been selected to die. Other prisoners reported that Kolbe spent his final days leading the other condemned in prayer. After 2 weeks of dehydration and starvation, Kolbe was the only one of the 10 still left alive. The guards administered a lethal injection on August 14th. Maximilian Kolbe's courage and strength throughout his time in Auschwitz, offered a glimpse of hope to the other prisoners living through the horrors there. And when the concentration camp was liberated, his story spread, bringing hope to many more in the aftermath of the war. He was canonized, declared a saint in 1982. So we pray. Loving Creator, Maximilian Kolbe stands as an example of unselfish love. We may never face an opportunity for heroic self-sacrifice like his, but we pray that his story will inspire us to stand up for others, to choose love over fear, and to find strength in faith, even in the darkest of times. Amen. Say Maximilian Kolbe, pray for us.
Thank you, Lisa. And now our Pledge of Allegiance and four-way test. Graham Shelby, the documentary filmmaker and freelance writer and speaker, is going to join us.
Thank you, Ken. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you all.
We have lots of fun guests today, so if you would come on up and introduce them and the guests, please stand when you are called out, and please join us at the What is Rotary table in the far right-hand corner of the room at the end of the meeting. Thanks.
President Ken, I'm Lori Flannery, and my guest today is Sean Nolan. Sean is the Vice President of Patient Care Services and the Chief Nursing Officer for Norton West Louisville Hospital, which you all will notice is right across the parking lot. It was opened in November of last year. It's right across the parking lot from this fabulous facility. He's also a new board member for New Directions, which is also in West Louisville. Welcome to our club, Sean.
Good afternoon, Angie Howard with Greater Louisville Inc., the Metro Chamber of Commerce. My guest this afternoon is Jamie Johnson of Halgens Insurance Group.
Thank you, President Ken, fellow Rotarians. I am Alice Alt, and my guest today is Kentucky to the World Board member Oman Covington. He is also the Digital Marketing Manager for Republic Bank. Please help me in joining in a round of applause.
President Ken, I'm the other Alice, Alice Bridges. My guest is my friend Todd McDonald, who is the founder and operator of Bluegrass Roofing and Restoration.
President Ken, my guest today is Director of Construction for Goodwill. I've gotten to know Brandon over the past few months. We've been working on some projects together, and I've just been constantly impressed by his professionalism and his passion for what he does, and he's very good at his job. And hang on, I can't tell you how many times over the past few months I've had to silence a call for him because of this meeting. And I text him immediately, I'm like, hey, man, I can't take a call on the Rotary. So I thought, hey, let's show him what Rotary is.
Good afternoon, Rotarians and President Ken. Alyssa Gray, Kentucky Humane Society. My guest is the fabulous Toni Clem. She is our governance chair on my board and also a leadership coach.
Hello, club, and wow, this is really low. Hello, President and club. My guests today are from Habitat for Humanity. They were crucial in helping us get that house built that we can all see tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Miss Tricia Burke and Miss Shiloh Smalden. Shiloh, I'm going to be seeing this a lot more, and we're going to talk about her joining, so. Big impression.
So the mic is great for me. Hello, President Ken.
My name is Bridget. I am the president and CEO for New Directions. Today, my guest is Miss Sierra Withrow. Thank you, Sierra, for joining us. Sierra is an iRise coach of our Resident Services Department. And one thing that's really special about Sierra right now, amongst many things, is that she's attending North Kentucky University. to become a peer support specialist as well. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you, everybody. My guest is Tina Jones, and I work with at LBFC. She's an artist here.
Shout out to all of you, glad you're here, especially you, Tony. We'll have the paperwork ready. Always have.
Some technical difficulties here. The last guy was doing something else.
We always have Rotarians in the spotlight. Today, we'd like to congratulate Jay Davidson, the co-founder of the Healing Place, whose life and legacy were honored at the recent Celebration Freedom Dinner. Over 6,000 men and women are living sober, productive lives because of Jay's unwavering commitment to our community. Congratulations to the amazing Jennifer Hancock, President and CEO of Volunteers of American Mid-States, spoke to our club not that long ago, as well as Todd Spencer, who's the Executive Chairman for Doe Anderson, largest PR company in the city. Both are inducted into the Louisville Business First 2025 40 Under 40 Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Denise Sears. That's a great feature article, Sunday's Courier Journal. Page 84, I actually read it that day. It's really good. She's amazing. We know what she does is amazing, but this is a deeper dive into how special she is. She also shared it, there's a link, so you might have seen that on social media, but she shares how the tragic loss of her daughter Lauren provided the inspiration that helped her lead SOS International and impacts over 14 million lives nationwide, worldwide. All right, be sure to scroll to LouisvilleRotary.org. You'll see all the Rotarians in the spotlight, as well as all the many upcoming events and opportunities with member organizations. We do even have an opportunity with the DOT experience at the end of September. Colleen might be getting you out to that. We've been invited to see an update on that, which is going to be cool. We had a speech on that earlier. So now I'd like to invite Barbara Sexton Smith, the interim executive library director of Louisville Metro Government, and the club president-elect and a Paul Myers Fellow +8 to induct some new members.
Okay. All right, well, thank you to one of the best darn presidents this club has ever had, and Ken, you are, to our guests, the best current president that we have. Yes. All right, so now it is my privilege and an honor to invite to the podium Adam Watson, Chelsea Ellis Hogan, and Kevin Smith. Please join me. We've all been through a 2-hour virtual training conducted by Delene that showed us how to stand in order of alphabetical order. Did y'all pick up on that during training? Adam, Chelsea, Kevin. It took me 2 times watching the video to get that. All right. Fellow Rotarians, as we seek to grow our membership so that we may not only increase our impact and our influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout our community and the global community. Now, to our new members, I say to you, you have been elected to a membership in our club because we believe that each of you possess the qualities that will lead you to exemplify the true spirit of Rotary International and our 4-way test. You've been admitted not only to the 12th largest Rotary club in the world, but to a global organization of more than 45,000 clubs. Kevin would like a ooh-ah. Okay, the pep rally is saved for the end of the meeting. If that doesn't pique your interest, nothing will. Here you go. You know, in these 45,000 clubs all across the globe, you're welcome to attend any of them anytime, and I encourage you to do so when you travel. Rotary membership adds value to those who engage, whether that be by attending our meetings, our events, participating in our service projects, and sharing your knowledge and your talent as we live out our motto, which is service above self. Now it is my honor
to induct each of you as a member to the Rotary Club of Louisville. According to the training video, at this time, I'm going to present an official pin to Adam, who is sponsored by our club executive director, Delene Taylor. Oh, Ken, watch the video too. Okay, that was great. So, Adam, I hope that you will wear your Rotary pin with pride and ask and answer folks when they say, so what is Rotary? And you'll have a whole speech down pat when that time comes. Now, Adam, I'm not sure if you saw the video, but now it's my time to move to the right. You slide in, and you're going to say a word or two about yourself, okay?
I can do that.
All right.
Get some pathfinding arrows for here. I need to open up by confessing that I cheated. My actual first name is Nicholas, so I should be farther back there. But I blame my parents for calling me Adam since the day I was born. By way of a little bit of background, I graduated from Center with my BA in Dramatic Arts in 01, took a little bit of time off, graduated from U of L's law school in 07, proceeded to not practice law, but instead found Against the Grain Brewery, which I actively operated for about 12 years. Hopefully some of you all were around when I got up here and yammered about that for a little bit. Then proceeded to move out of my operations role at Against the Grain and into my current role at Canopy, where I am executive director. We're a nonprofit that helps make Kentucky first in good business. If you want to hear a lot about that, I'm happy to indulge you, but maybe not right now.
All right. Nicholas Adam, welcome to Rotary. All right, now it is my honor to invite a couple more folks to join me. This would be Joseph Yerby and Amy Luttrell. Did you all get the training video? Do you know where to stand? Okay, Amy, you are going to stand with one of our new inductees, and Joseph, thank you very much for standing here with Chelsea. Chelsea, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
Okay, all right, I love that. All right, now Chelsea, I'm going to hand a pin to Joseph. Joseph is going to hand that pin to you, at which point I will slide to the right, no music please, and you'll step into the microphone. You ready?
Thank you, and hello everyone. My name is Chelsea Ellis Hogan. I am co-owner of Jim Reynolds Asphalt Contractor. We've been in business for over 40 years. I'm actually third generation owner. So definitely looking forward to being a part of the group, born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. So looking forward to doing more good things.
Joseph, you and Chelsea will now slide over there to the other end, and Kevin Smith and Amy Luttrell, come on down. Kevin, you didn't know what you were getting into, did you, buddy? Okay, all right, and at this time, Amy will present the pin to Kevin because Amy is Kevin's sponsor. The reason we're doing it this way, we want each of you that are already Rotarians to notice this incredible limelight and opportunity you get if you will sponsor a new member. I promise not to embarrass you this much each time. All right, Kevin, are you ready to take the mic? You sure? All right, here we go. Kevin Smith.
Well, thank you, everyone. I'm honored, and it's really nice to be a part of this organization as I look around the room. I am Kevin Smith, Chief External Affairs Officer for Goodwill, Kentucky. I've been in this role for about 9 months. I'm still learning quite a bit. I've got a few of my colleagues in the room that are also Rotarians. Amy's not only my sponsor, but she's also my boss. And a lot of you would recognize me, though, from my previous career. I spent 35 years in the bourbon industry, doing all sorts of different things, including being master distiller at Maker's Mark, where I created a little brand called Maker's 46. Bill Samuels had a little something to do with it, but I tend to take most of the credit when he's not in the room. So thank you all very much.
I'll slide to the far left. President Ken will step right here, and we are perfectly positioned for that photo, Delene. All right, scoot in together.
Get a whole tutorial on how to do this, right?
All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Barbara, and welcome to all our new members. It's always exciting to have new members. All right, with Adam. Watson.
You lost? Yes, thank you.
All right, here.
Your age, I'm next.
I thought you were next. Amy, come on up.
Just trying to help out our president, Kim. We all need some help. Okay, well, first, I just want to welcome all of you to the Norton Healthcare Goodwill Opportunity Campus, and to let you know before I forget that if you have time to stay after we wrap up this meeting at 1, we would be delighted to show you around the rest of the facility. So just hang out. If you're able to stay, we'd love to give you a tour. But my job right now is to talk about Paul Harris Fellowship, and as most of you know, but we have some new people in the room, that is the recognition that Rotary gives to people who have given all at once or over time at least $1,000 to the Rotary International Foundation, okay? And that's part of our job as club members, is to support foundation projects. So again, you don't have to give that $1,000 all at once. You can do 100 at a time if that works well for you. And that also, by coincidence, is the amount per year, the $100, that our club asks all of our members to give to the foundation. It's a great way to be part of big projects that our club or us individually, we could never do on our own. Great things like providing clean water, providing education, and not last but not least, eradicating polio from the face of the earth. If you are a Paul Harris Fellow already, would you please stand up and let us clap for you? We really appreciate your generosity, and you're setting the pace for everybody. You can either give to the annual fund that the foundation has, or you can give to Polio Plus, and either one of those gifts counts toward a Paul Harris recognition. I just want to note also that World Polio Day is October 24th, so we'd like to make a strong start in this new Rotary year at giving and supporting the Polio Plus project. And I always like to tell people, every dollar you give becomes $3 because of the match from the Gates Foundation. So let's make Bill Gates spend some more money and wipe out polio from the face of the earth. But today, we get to recognize Chris Monzo. And Chris has been up here before, you will remember, and now he has reached a Paul Harris level 3. So we want to recognize Chris for that. Chris, you are truly showing all of us how it's done. We appreciate your generosity so much. Here's your pen. Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Chris. Great job. Another Rotarian who's extra special gets a shout out for accolade of the week, Jolie Schmidt. She's a current board member, and I'm assuming you know this because it was published this morning on the KBA newsletter. You are a new Kentucky Broadcasters Association ambassador, which is only given to a relative few people, and that means that they have been so amazing in their contribution to broadcasters through the years. She's a former president of the board and does amazing work. And she gets a green jacket. She's gonna act like she's a master's champion. Okay, welcome back to the podium, Alice Bridges, the principal at AOB Consulting. And she was the best darn president ever in 16 and 17. And she's a Paul Harris Fellow plus 7. She's going to introduce today's speaker.
It is my great honor to have the opportunity to introduce our speaker today. So she's already been up here, she's our host today. You know Amy Luttrell as President and CEO of Goodwill, Kentucky, a nonprofit operating 68 thrift stores and businesses across the Commonwealth. A native of Kentucky, of Lexington and Bury, Kentucky. Amy returned home in 2014 to lead the organization after serving Goodwills in 3 other states. You may also know Amy is a strong Rotary leader. Obviously, she's up here doing her good work. She's been a member of 2 other Rotary clubs, serving as officers in both before joining our club in 2014. And as you know, she chairs our Rotary Foundation Committee and is a member of the Paul Harris Society with a special interest in Rotary Plus. And you may know, Amy is a community leader, serving on many boards and committees, including the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, the GLI Foundation, Park Community Credit Union Advisory Board, and the Kentucky Judicial Commission on Mental Health. She graduated from Leadership Kentucky in 2015. What you may not know is the incredible impact Amy has had on people across Kentucky. I had the privilege of assisting with Goodwill's strategic planning process in 2021 and again this year, conducting interviews with hundreds of people who have been helped by the organization or who partner with the organization. They tell the stories I wish more people knew. Like the 65-year-old man re-entering our community after spending his entire adult life in prison, never used a computer, never picked up a cell phone. Goodwill changed his life by providing not only the essential skills training he needed, but an entire ecosystem of support to get back on his feet. Or I think about the young woman in recovery who got her first job at Goodwill at a store after getting clean, who had her teeth fixed through the Good Smiles program, who had her criminal record expunged through a Goodwill clinic, who got her first car through Goodwill's Cars to Work program. This enabled her to move on to a high-paying job at a manufacturing plant that partners with Goodwill on second chance employment. And the list goes on and on. This building, where we are today, is an embodiment of the transformational change Goodwill has made possible for so many people that others consider, honestly, hopeless. So, here to tell the story of this remarkable organization with a mission to help Kentuckians find pathways out of poverty, please welcome Amy Luttrell.
Well, thank you, Alice, for all those kind words. And we are just so grateful to have this opportunity to host the Rotary Club today. And how many of you have never been in this building before? I know there's some. Yeah. All right. That's a lot. So I know the easiest way to come in was right here, this door right beside this room. But I really hope that you will stay, if you can at all, and get the tour, because the Opportunity Center, the mall area, that's the real area where the exciting things take place. And I hope you get an opportunity to see that. As Alice said, I've been back here in Kentucky for about 11 years, but I'm a Kentucky native, and many of you know Roland Blahnik, fellow Rotarian. Roland retired in 2014. And that gave me the opportunity to come back to my home state and do what I love, continue to do Goodwill. And that has just been wonderful. It was hard for me to leave where I was because, you know, you get attached wherever you are. But there is just no place like Kentucky. I've always considered it my home state, no matter where I live. I do want to recognize Roland, even though he's not here today. I think he's in Africa. But for the work that he did over the years to build Goodwill into a strong statewide organization. And in fact, this summer at a big Goodwill meeting, Roland was inducted into the National Goodwill Hall of Fame. And that was for the work that he had done here in Kentucky, plus the influence that he had had on the national Goodwill movement over the years. So just want you to know about that. We are going to talk about the Norton Healthcare Goodwill Opportunity Campus today, but I want you to know what Goodwill does and how this Opportunity Campus helps us do that, because that's how you're going to really understand the campus. It's a lot more than just a nice looking building. Everybody knows that Goodwill operates thrift stores. We're like a household name. But what people don't know is why we operate those thrift stores. We call that our story behind the store. And I do have a short video that I would like to use called The People of Goodwill to help me introduce that story. So whoever is going to make that happen, we're ready.
It played fine 30 minutes ago. 30.
Today, we're sharing something we're calling the people of Goodwill. Individuals who have come through our programs and whose lives have changed because of the support,
Maximize that window.
Today, we're sharing something we're calling the people of
And then you should be able to maximize the video.
We have a little saying here at Goodwill when these things happen. Technology does not always allow us to be great.
Today, we're sharing something we're calling the people of Goodwill. Individuals who have come through our programs and whose lives have changed because of the support, opportunity, and our belief in them.
My name is Rico Williams. I came to Goodwill after a history of incarceration, substance abuse, and crime. Determined to turn my life around, I came here looking for direction, and I was able to find that.
My name is Tiffany Green. Before I came to Goodwill, my criminal record felt like a brick wall, blocking every opportunity I reached for. No matter how hard I tried, my past kept showing up before I could.
For over 20 years, I lived my life in fear, trapped in a cycle of domestic violence and addiction that eventually led me to prison.
My name is Wayne Ford. I found myself homeless and staying in the shelter as a result of poor choices.
My lived experience has allowed me to connect with people in the community and assist them and offer what I can to help them out.
Now I'm a facilitator at the Goodwill Opportunity Center in East Broadway. Fulfilling a purpose and doing meaningful work and living a life that me, myself, and the people that love me can be proud of.
Thanks to Goodwill's expungement clinic, I had 49 charges cleared from my record. 49. That's not just paperwork. That's freedom.
Amen.
To each of you out here, I want to thank you for your work, your decisions, and your love of this mission. It gave me a second chance. God used Goodwill to save my life, and now I'm able to help others find theirs.
Goodwill gave me a second chance through the Another Way, Rise, and housing programs.
We are the faces of Goodwill, and my name is Farrah Burleson, and before joining Goodwill, I was homeless and carrying all my belongings around garbage bags. Since December of 2021, I've been a production clerk, I've been a team lead, I've been an outreach specialist, and today I'm a career coach.
At Goodwill, we believe in the power of work to transform lives. But it's not just about jobs. It's about dignity, self-sufficiency, and the chance to create a future filled with purpose and possibility.
I just want to say thank you guys for having me today, but also I just want to say, look at us, man. Look at us. We were castaways. We were torn apart. We were not the people we are today. And today we get to go back into the community and help all the folks that are struggling like we were and bring them to Goodwill and say, listen, we got another way, a better way for you, man.
We are Goodwill.
So maybe you can start to see, just by hearing our people of Goodwill, why we entitled this presentation, Growing Our Workforce, Driving Our Economy. These are all people in the workforce who were not in the workforce before. People get stuck in poverty because they face a lot of different barriers that they have not been able to get around on their own. But the good news is that we have many, many people, and that's really why I showed you this video clip. I can't tell you how many people are out there and have a very high level of motivation. They just need a reason to believe that they have a real chance for a different kind of life. Sorry. Okay, this is somebody who you might have seen at an intersection holding one of those signs, you know, but you probably don't recognize her. But here she is today, and now you might recognize her because you just saw her in that video. Fira is employed, she's going to college, she's an A student, and she is a homeowner. She was living on the streets like she shared with you in that video. And I want you to understand that we see so many people every day who successfully make that transition from destitution to the middle class, believe it or not. We could show you 100 people without any problem whatsoever. That's the size of the opportunity. So why should that matter to the business community? Why should that matter to you? I think there are several reasons. And the first one is what we were just talking about. We have more job openings these days than we have people looking for jobs, right? And that stunts our economic growth. We need more workers. This is a great source of workers. But second, we all live here. We live here in the Louisville area, and we live with the effects of poverty. We see the homelessness, we see crime, we see properties that aren't taken care of, we see those statistics about low education levels, poor health, on and on and on. All of that has to do with poverty. But finally, and I know this will appeal to you as Rotarians, this is our four-way test. These are all human beings. These are people who, I believe, are made in the image of God. These are people who have potential and are worthy of another chance, even though they have a rough past. And many of these people have children. So it's not just what's going to happen with their life, but what kind of a life are they going to be able to offer their children? So this is generational. These are all excellent reasons for all of us to care about these issues. A few years ago, we at Goodwill, we looked around our communities and we asked ourselves a very important question. As a nonprofit, what is the best way for us to make a difference? Out of what everybody is doing, all the conditions there are, how can we make a big difference in our communities? And when we looked around, we saw thousands of people exiting drug treatment. We have a lot of drug treatment in Kentucky, which is good, because we need that. We saw a lot of people exiting drug treatment and trying to build a new life. We saw the same thing with people coming out of our prisons. We have a lot of people in prison, and most of them are coming out. What we did not see was a lot of resources and a system of support to really help them once they came out. So as we thought about that, because when you start with nothing and if you don't really have anybody to help you, your chances of really making a new life are not very good. So we thought, that's a good role for us. The best way for us to make a difference, we decided, was to help people in those situations make that transition back into society. So that's what we've tried to do. These are people who are waiting to get their legal records cleaned up. I think Alice mentioned the expungement clinics that we do. Last year, our clinics were able to erase 5,400 offenses from people's records. And that is a game changer for these people. Lots of people who've had things on their record for many years. They have to be clean, nothing on their record for the past 5 years. So they've already paid a lot of dues. They've paid their dues, they've been trying to do the right thing, and we help them get a chance to clean this off their record. We have come to understand that people in those kinds of situations need a lot more than a job. Certainly they need a job, but to be able to succeed in a job, they need these things. People need a chance to regain stability. People have to have access to resources that can answer all of the barriers that keep them from moving ahead. If you don't know where you're going to be sleeping next week, you probably are not going to be a very reliable employee. See, we see people in those kinds of situations, and we try to help them clear that up so that they can be a reliable employee. If you have ever done a poverty simulation or a reentry simulation, and we do some of those, you've seen how hard that is. We don't really have a system, an organized system of support. We have a very fragmented system that's hard for people to navigate when they need a number of different things. People also need a chance to be able to earn some marketable skills. If they don't have that, they're going to get trapped in an entry-level job and just become part of the working poor at best. Many times people in those situations get discouraged and sooner or later they quit. So they need a chance to build some marketing skills. And then they need hope, because building a new life is very hard work. We see people do that work, but they need hope so that they can persevere in all that is going to take. So restoring hope is a major goal of our opportunity centers. And if you do get a chance to take the tour, you'll see that theme of hope repeated both inside and outside of the center. So we committed ourselves to helping people find those pathways out of poverty. And here's how we decided that we could help, because we can't do everything at Goodwill, but we decided that we could help in these ways. First, we could take that holistic approach. We just believe that a fragmented approach or a piecemeal approach to solving poverty is not very effective at all. So we think we all need to team up, partner together, and provide that network of support that people need so that they can move ahead. We also try to extend that opportunity as broadly as we can. Why is that important? It is important because it is, no matter what anybody thinks, it is impossible for us to tell who is going to succeed and who is not. We've been surprised, positive, negative, many times. So we just think that the fair thing and the smart thing to do is to offer that opportunity as broadly as possible and see who takes advantage of it. The ones who don't, we hope that they're not ready yet, and that when they are ready, they'll come back and take advantage of it. And then finally, we need to take a personal interest. We see a lot of people who don't have anybody to help them. They don't have anybody in their corner. And many times, people need somebody else to believe in them before they're able to believe in themselves. So that's part of the role that we try to fill for people who come in. We hire our career coaches for energy and empathy, and many of our career coaches have the same backgrounds that the people that they're trying to help. So they have a lot of credibility because of that. So those three things, keep those three things in your minds. We operate these opportunity centers to help us do all three of those things. Opportunity centers are just resource centers where people can come to one place and get a lot of different needs met. We have centers across Kentucky in 9 different communities, but Louisville, because of our population, has 4. This is by far the largest, the one that you're sitting in. We also have one on East Broadway, the other end of Broadway. We have one down on Preston Highway, and then we have one for young adults that's at 2nd and Chestnut, where the Salvation Army used to be. Up until a little over a year ago, we did not have any physical presence in West Louisville, even though we always served a lot of West Louisville residents at our other locations. But you know, we know that here in West Louisville, the household income is about half of what it is in Jefferson County in general. So we felt like we needed a significant physical presence here in West Louisville. And the first thing that we looked at was bus routes, because a lot of our clients ride the bus or walk. They probably don't have a car. And we know that the easier it is to get to us, the more people are going to come. And when we did that work, we learned that Broadway has by far the best bus service of anywhere in town. Those connections, no matter where you're coming from. So we said, we have to be on Broadway, and we really like to be visible. This is what we found, and I think we have Scott Love here in the, raise your hand, Scott. He had something to do with helping us find this property. I think, Scott, you were with the city at the time, and this is what it looked like. I hope you can see that on one of these screens. This was 21 acres of really brownfield, kind of defunct manufacturing sites, Cypress, metal workers, and some of you might remember it in the older days as tube turns. So that's what we got. And that was a great opportunity for us to get that much land all with one owner. At the same time, Norton was looking for space in West Louisville, so they approached us with the idea of maybe joining us on this campus and becoming partners. So after many conversations, as you know, that is what happened, and hopefully you saw the new Norton Hospital on your way in. If you didn't, go look at it, take a look at it on your way out. The first thing that we did was take 6 months to ask the West Louisville community some questions, get some input from them. And we asked them what they wanted to see, and we asked them how we could be a good neighbor, understanding that we were new to West Louisville. And we did incorporate a lot of those suggestions, as many as we could, into our final plans. This building is 124,000 feet, and it has 3 sections. This wing that we're sitting in, this whole wing of the building, is where we host community meetings for free. And West Louisville told us that there was a demand. They didn't have really a lot of choices for meeting space in this part of town, and boy, were they right. We are on pace to host 700 meetings in these rooms this year. So that's, can you imagine? We were just amazed. So that's nice for us because we get a lot of different people into the building, probably people who haven't been this far west before, and we take that opportunity to tell them what the building is really for. On the second floor, right above us, that's our headquarters. That's Goodwill headquarters for all of Kentucky. And then when you see the mall area, I don't know if any of you came in that way, but that's really the heart of the Opportunity Center. That's where the action is. In the mall area, and this is it, this is a picture of it, we have our own Goodwill classrooms, and then we have 9 partners that have dedicated space. Yes. Here are the 9 partners: Kentucky Career Center, the Y, Black Coffee, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Park Community Credit Union, VOA, Kentucky College of Archery, U of L Dental Clinic, and Legal Aid. Then we also have Maryhurst, who provides mental health services for us. So let me just give you an example of how we work together. The Kentucky Career Center has, you might identify that with Kentucky on Works. That's the publicly operated workforce entity that we have here in the Louisville area. So the Career Center, they have certified resume writers, they have job fairs, they have a lot of other services. So there is no reason for us to duplicate what they do. And they're right here in the building. So what we do, we send a lot of people to the Kentucky Career Center for the services that they have. And then they send people to us who have needs that they can't meet. If somebody doesn't have their ID documents or they don't have a stable place to live, they will send people to Goodwill. So that's how it works, with just being down the hall from each other. And since they've moved in here, and they just moved across the street, the Kentucky Career Center has been serving more than double, twice as many people as they were serving before. So that is exactly how it's supposed to work. Let me just back up a little bit and tell you a little about how Goodwill itself actually works, because you might be curious about some of that. Even though we have a national name, we are local. I report to a Kentucky-based board, and our headquarters is Louisville, right here. It's not Washington, it's not New York, it's right here. If you ever hear these rumors on Facebook, because I know some of you have, about a man named Mark Curran who owns Goodwill and he keeps all the money, I really hope that you will push back on that when you hear people talk about that. I hear it all the time, so I know that some of you have heard it and it's entirely made up. Our national office, they're there to protect the brand and to support local Goodwills like us in doing our work, but we decide how we do things here in Kentucky. As you can see on this map, we are statewide almost. We have 103 of Kentucky's counties. The ones that we don't have are in the territory of Goodwills that are headquartered in other states on the wrong side of the river. Let me just take a minute and tell you how our stores fit in. So we use all of those clothes and household goods that you've brought us over the years to operate those 68 stores that Alice talked about, those are in 45 communities. So you might be thinking, what in the world does that have to do with providing pathways out of poverty? There are two very important things that our stores do to help us advance our mission. One of those, they create a lot of jobs. We have about 2,000 entry-level jobs all across the state. And we use those jobs to give people a chance, a place to start, oftentimes when nobody else wanted to hire them. That's about 75% of our workforce. Now, we have a lot of services to help people move up from there because we don't want them to stay in an entry-level job. But for a lot of people, that's where they have to start, and that job is a godsend to them. So that is a very important thing that our stores do for us. Second, they earn money. They're really the only thing that we do that makes any money. So we use that money to do things, to provide services that are not already available. We use that money to fill gaps so that we can have that comprehensive approach to poverty. Things like helping people replace their ID documents, helping people learn how to use a computer or do a budget, get their dental problems fixed, all of those kinds of things, and ultimately getting a job that leads to a career. We do also apply for some government money, and we do some fundraising, but way over half of the services that we provide are paid for by those retail dollars. So that's important for you to know, because we like to say that when you give to Goodwill, you do a lot of good. Everything that I'm telling you about here today is things that you have helped us to do through your donations over the years, and we appreciate that very much. We also operate, well, this is my store. I'm sorry, I didn't share this with you. I'm falling down on the job here. But this is just a little pictorial of what I just talked to you about, the role of our stores. We have an adult high school down on Preston Highway. You have to be over 18 to go there, so we're not competing with the public school system. This is for people who missed out on that opportunity to graduate from high school. So this is very much tailored to the needs of adults, and it offers a real diploma, not a GED, for people who complete that course of study. We are also hoping to be able to do a second school in the next couple of years over in Lexington, because Kentucky has over 300,000 people of working age who don't have a high school diploma or a GED. So huge need for this. We also provide 2 services in cooperation with the metro government. Another way is our homeless outreach program, where we go out to where you see homeless people. We offer them work for the day, and we try to get to know them, build some trust, find out what is it that we can do to help you change your situation. That work has absolutely destroyed our stereotypes. As we've seen, the wide range of circumstances that cause people to end up living on our streets. A lot of people have gotten jobs, a lot of people have gotten into stable housing, and we take a lot of people to drug treatment when they're ready for that. That goes back to my earlier point. You cannot tell in advance who is going to take advantage of an opportunity. The second thing that we do in cooperation with Metro Louisville is called Pivot to Peace. That's a newer program. We only started it at the end of last year. It's certainly relevant to what we have going on in Louisville this week. We have about 25 violence interventionists who go out into 4 specific areas of West Louisville and Newburgh. And their job is to get to know people in the neighborhood, form relationships, build that trust, try to offer people some better options, and try to help reduce the number of lives that we see lost to violence in Louisville. Now I want to introduce you to my guest, Bella. And Bella, come on up, Bella, is going to give you an idea of what is possible when we all work together to give people a realistic chance of success. So Bella, would you share a little bit of your story with us, please?
Hello, I'm just really excited really to be able to explain and talk to you guys today. My name is Bella. I ended up at the Goodwill through kind of the same situation. I was homeless, I had 4 kids, I did 2 years in prison. And basically when I got out of prison, I was just doing everything that I could for work, everything that I felt like could try to sustain us. I mean, painting, lawn care, whatever I could, but it really wasn't enough. It wasn't enough financial stability. It really didn't give me any of those core resources and things that I needed. And I reached out to DCBS, and my mom, she was like, you know, I think it's time you should sign up for like some government assistance. So I went to DCBS, and the lady on the phone, she was like, well, what do you need? And I was like, well, I need money. And she was like, well, we can give you money, but you have to do some kind of programming or volunteer work. And they referred me to Power Works. And I did a class that really just changed my narrative and my outlook of so many things. We did like personality tests and even just things that sparked like inner trauma and things that I needed to work on to succeed and excel. So through that, we had to like pick a career. We're trying to find a career, and the whole time my biggest thing was like empathy. Well, you don't know how these people feel, and y'all should really look into it. And my career coach, Ms. Martina Young, she said, I have the perfect job for you. We're hiring for Pivot to Peace. It doesn't matter about your record. You can go out and help people just like you. Because within the class, just a little backstory, you know, I've been dealing with gun violence probably since middle school. The earliest remembrance of gun violence was like at 12. I had a friend pass away in the Newburgh area, and me and my mom moved around. So when people ask me like, what area are you working for Pivot to Peace, I'm like, wherever they need me, because I've lived from the West End to the East End to everywhere in Louisville. And honestly, once I got into my first career path was like social work. I think social work would be a good way for you. We did a mock interview, and she was like, I have the perfect job for you. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. She's like, it doesn't matter your record. I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. And guess what? I didn't do it. I didn't apply. My friend Celeste, if you see the picture she had up there, I didn't start at first. I was scared, and my friend Celeste, she got it. And she was like, you need to apply. You need to come. It's great. Everything's going good. We see a lot of people we know working. So I went back, I did my resume, and I got the job. Now, walking into the work, just to let y'all know, it was a beautiful experience. I love being able to give back to these communities and these children and adults going through stuff like this, and just being able to really bond with them and see them every day and refer them back, because sometimes we do send them back to Ms. Amy to Goodwill. So that's my story.
Thank you, Bella. So that tells really better than I can what Goodwill is doing in your community. We're growing the workforce, and we're helping people build a better life. And we have seen that if we all aim high and we work together closely, we can do some pretty big things. And we can make Louisville a better place for everybody to live. So remember, when you give to Goodwill, you do a lot of good. Thank you very much.
This pin has a weight test on the back to remind you of our values.
Thank you for all you do. Much appreciated. And after you take the tour, I do encourage you, as Amy said, just walk across the street, even if you just look in the lobby of the hospital. It's an amazing lobby. And then in the parking lot, there's a space too that has some historical information that's very cool. So, I mean, you're here to do it. If you haven't done it yet, it's pretty cool. All right, no time for questions. Okay. But we do have time for Barbara to tell us about next week.
Okay. All right, I don't know, y'all. These notes in the training video said that I was supposed to lead a pep rally at this time. I mean, we got to get out of here. Amy's got work to do, y'all got eggs to sell, and I got places to go, President Ken. All right, here we go. Where's Shantez Williams? Shantez in the room? All right, well, here's what we're going to do, fellow Rotarians and guests and new members. We want to thank Shantez Williams. She's on our way in. You all recognize that name because Sean is the first recipient. There she is. Yes, because of your generosity to the West Louisville Housing Initiative, Shantez Williams, you all will remember, is the very first recipient. And I was there that day, President Kim, when we handed that key over. And man, that smile was as big that day as it is today. She catered our lunch today, y'all. This is her business. So I am doing a little unsolicited promo. I hope you don't mind, Sean. So please call her up. All right, here we go. We got 30 seconds left. Y'all ready for the pep rally? Next week, y'all know we're going to be back at the University of Louisville Club. All right, and if I have any Cards fans, I know I've got plenty of Cat brothers and sisters and Browns and all these other folks. University of Louisville fans in this room. Okay, L's up, C-A-R-D-S, C-A-R-D-S. Go, Cards, go. All right, that is for next week's speaker, Brene Brown. I don't know if you remember the mayor's State of the City address at the Kentucky Center for the Arts last year. Does anybody remember who introduced the mayor before he came running out on the stage in those tennis shoes? I could have died when I was the deputy mayor. I said, please don't wear tennis shoes to these big formal meetings. But he came out because he had to, y'all. It was the head basketball coach at the University of Louisville, Pat Kelsey, that introduced the mayor that day on the video from the locker room. I'm not in the locker room, but I'm here to tell y'all, come back next week, bring a friend, bring a potential new Rotarian, because head coach from the University of Louisville men's basketball team, Pat Kelsey, is going to be in the house at the U of L Club, and please scan the code on the screen, and you better sign up before Monday's email, because we're going to cap it at 150, because that's all we can fit in the room. Y'all come? President Ken, it's all yours, buddy.
First Johnson going to be at the fairgrounds that morning for the big auction, the Kentucky State Fair, so he's coming right from the fairgrounds.
Okay, all right.
He's excited to be here. And I was there that day too. I've never seen somebody with a bigger smile when she, got the keys to the home. It was really great because of our club. All right, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. And we'll see you
Yes.
next Thursday.
Rotary table.
Oh.
What is wrong?
I never, I'm sorry. Please, a lot of great guests. Go see the main man from Rotary for the past 50 years to tell you everything about Rotary. So it won't be this uneven next week. A lot going on. We are adjourned.
Okay.